Let's make a Valentine's Day hat for an alien. So the first thing we have to do is kind of move some of the stuff off of the table for the projects I probably should be working on, but I don't want to. I want to build a hat for my alien. So we're just gonna clean up the mess to start. Yeah. Actually, we're not gonna clean it up. We're just gonna scoot it to the side because I don't feel like you need a lot of room to make a hat. But let's start with measuring tape. Start with measuring his head. Don't move. Okay, so it's like 19 3/4 of an inch. But I feel like the fabric and everything makes it a little bigger. So let's do 20 inches. Let's do 20 inches. Like 5 inches tall. You want to hang out on the table or on the floor? You never put the word. Did I just say 20 by 4? Okay, I need a piece of paper. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to make a rectangle. I need a pencil. Nope, that's crooked. And I'm wasting too much fabric, paper. 18, 19, 20, and then probably like a 1/2 inch overlap, so we're gonna add an inch. Okay. 4 inches up. This is what I'm cutting the buckram out of, so I don't really need seam allowances. Alright, and then we also need the brim. 20 inches, I need a circle. Make sure your head is really round. Is the measurement on this ruler on the inside of it or on the outside of it? Yeah. All right. You have a pretty even shaped head. I think I want the brim to be maybe 2 inches. So I drew the circle on the inside that's got the right measurement, and I'm going to draw a 2-inch and brim around the side. Okay, so this is going to be the top of the hat, and this is going to be the brim, and it's going to be on buckram, so I don't need seam allowances and everything on this. I'm going to kind of play fit this together with the paper, and then we're going to cut it out of the buckram, and then we're going to use, and then when we cut, we're going to use the same thing to cut the fabric. This is funky right here. That should work really well. And then I kind of want a little heart pattern design here, so let's I want it to go pretty close to this full size. I'm going to do a big heart and then a couple smaller ones. Let's draw it first. Now I need to find my buckram, and I'm kind of in the middle of remodeling my floors, which is why you can hear my washing machine in the background, because I can't actually close my door because I have boxes of tile in the doorway. I don't know where my buckram is. I'm gonna go find that. Okay, that wasn't actually that hard to find. It was literally right behind me. But here's my buckram, and then we're going to cut these pieces out of that. These hearts are actually, because I'm going to cut the fabric out so you can see the buckram in the middle of it. So we're going to save those, and then I'm going to use this fabric that I put some, hi puppy. I'm going to use this fabric that I put some red ink on, made it look like a crime scene, because it's a hat for Valentine's Day. Of course it looks like a crime scene. This is how it turned out. I think I'm going to use this for the part that goes up on the hat, and then this for the brim and the top. So let's cut the buckram first. Do need seam allowance, so we're going to cut just a 1/2 inch off the top. I think I'm going to do the lining kind of the same fabric, so let's just cut one more piece of this. Alright, this is cut. We do need to cut the little hearts out still, but I'm going to do that later. This can go over there. Do you want the stripies on the top of the hat or on the brim of the hat? Let's go with top. Probably should iron this fabric before I cut it, but also needs a seam allowance, so we're just gonna cut a little wider. Okay, so now I'm gonna go iron this buckram so that it's flat. And I'm gonna straighten this fabric out that I should have ironed before I cut it, but I didn't, so I'm gonna iron it now. Alright, so everything's been ironed. Got this nice and flat, it's not curved at all. I'm gonna kind of sew it together in a little bit of a weird way that I wouldn't normally do, but I'm gonna take this right sides together. I'm actually going to pin this, and I'm actually going to go sew on the very, very edge right here, all the way through the layers, and then I'm going to kind of pull it to the inside. But I'm going to go sew this on my machine. Alright, so just going to trim. Actually, let me trim a lot of this seam allowance off. And that puts a tiny little seam allowance right here. And I'm just gonna go and get it all trimmed and laid flat, and then I'm just gonna go iron this real fast. Okay, I got it ironed. It pulls a little on the straight of the grain, but not so much where it's cut kind of on the bias or not. So I'm gonna let this sit so that it stays flat. And I'm going to go take a break, get some food. I will be back in a little bit, and we're gonna finish putting the hat together. The next step is gonna be to sew this together. And then attach the top. I might do the same thing on the top and just fix this to this. And then put this on the inside. I mean, I hadn't planned on doing all the fabric, kind of making it all one piece, but once I did it to this, it might be easier. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. Yeah, let me figure it out. Gotta go charge my battery. Alright, I feel like this would be a lot easier if I actually knew what I was doing, but I don't. So I could go look it up, but I'm not going to either. We're just gonna sew this. I'm just gonna sew this together and hope for the best. It'll work. It'll be fine. This is gonna work. Sewing over pins gives me so much anxiety. One time I hit it and it flipped off and stabbed me in the arm, and now, like, worst case scenario pops in my head. I'm gonna have a pin sticking out of my eyeball. Probably should have used darker thread. Alright, so I cut 2 of these because I plan on just fully lining the inside of the hat, but since I'm going to cut this part out so that you can see the buckram, I don't think I'm going to line the hat, but so I'm going to cut it out, we're going to put it together, and then we're going to see if I feel like lining the hat, but probably not.
Want to see a really cool talent I have? Check out how fast I can cut out 2 hearts. I mean, I have to do it twice, so I guess check out how fast I can cut out 4 hearts. Like, I should put really fast heart cutter outer on my resume. I mean, it's impressive, right?
Where'd the... Oh, there it is. Right in front of me. Of course, it's right in front of me. You don't lose stuff if it's not right in front of you. Okay, I want that black. I should paint it before I put the fabric on.
Alright, so I looked for black paint and I do not have any. And my options are to go to the store and get it, or to just use Sharpie. So I'm just going to be resourceful and use Sharpie because it's what I have on hand. It's called being resourceful and not being lazy and not going to the store to get the black paint like I should. So, black Sharpie.
I like it.
Alright, so I'm going to sew this together, and then I'm going to sew the fabric onto the top and kind of just run a running stitch around. Yeah. And then it's probably a very inefficient way of doing it, but it's what I can think of, so it's what I'm going to do right now.
Alright, I'm going to put my pin, or my needle, with my thread in it, and my little knee pad, so that I lose it later and never be able to find it again. Alright, so that looks pretty good on the inside. And then, where'd my outside go? Okay, I'm going to glue right around where the heart is. Yeah, I think I'm going to glue this before I sew it down. Let me grab some glue. Alright, I'm going to put this up. It made sense in my head. It's not making sense in reality. Let's just glue on the back side of the fabric. Ooh, too much. I sewed a pin into it. That's not a happy surprise. All right. All right, got the top in, we've got the base in. Now we just have to attach the two. Then we can decorate it. I need some ribbon for the inside and for the outside. We're going to stick this on here without planning anything at all. Might be good. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, see how I feel when it dries, if I want to add more or not. I think it looks pretty good. Like her hat? I think it turned out pretty well. Almost makes me kind of want to learn how to make a hat, but probably not. But it's cute. I love it. JJ likes it.